What's up, guys? Welcome to the 20th Solace Podcast. I'm AJ, and my Runescape name is AJ.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Oi, and my in-game name is Rank 7 Agility, and I'm a General in Solace.
Hi, I'm JJ Dynamite, Bronze Star in Solace.
I'm Crescendo, 3 Banana in Solace.
I'm Yukari, and I'm a Burnout.
Vior, introduce yourself.
What?
Introduce yourself. Okay, fuck it, we're gonna
I was
restart.
taking a piss.
Oh, we're gonna restart.
I'm
Alright.
Vior and I was just taking a piss.
Actually, no, that's fine. I'll leave it at that.
Alright.
Okay. Alright, so first question we have today is, how much of an impact on the economy does the shop have? Currently, the cost of Buyables have drastically increased within the past year.
Oh, yeah, this is gonna be a real good question.
So I just started doing shop on my main while I'm doing wood cutting on my Iron Man, and I did it for 2 hours so far, and I'm already up like 3 mil with a starting cash of like 10 mil. So I'm pretty sure that shit's just straight up OP, and Buyables pretty much increasing, I think, by like a huge amount just in the past year. Kind of a bit scary because I wanted to max my main, but that's not looking doable anymore, so rip.
Oh, sorry. Wait. Oh shit, it's me. For some reason, I thought Wei went first. Alright. Impact economy. It's bad for the economy because Crescendo said it was good. I think I don't remember, but okay. But seriously, impact on the economy. Pretty much the only thing I can really think of is it pretty much caused a lot of things that people would out normally to increase by like 16% or whatever. So therefore they can be out. Bring some inflation into the game, but JMods such as Ronin have announced, or they said that it's minimal, so it doesn't really matter. Currently, the cost of Buyables have drastically increased within the past year. That's a lie. Farming has actually not farming. Fire making's only gone up by like fire making's gone down. So you're retarded. I don't know. I guess as more people are able to like afford Buyables such as crafting, construction, and stuff like that, as prayer as well, they could just like spend whatever they want and get their Buyables like immediately, which pretty much like when multiple people are doing like 9 or 200 construction all at the same time, like the era when like Randy, Sten, Andrew Wiggins, or whatever the hell the other kid. I think there's someone else. Oh yeah, Vestal did some. Pretty much when all those people have a lot of money because of the shop. I guess Sten really didn't get the money from the shop. Anyways, they have a lot of money. They don't really have to like be patient with their what they're spending, so they can just like put in offers and buy things instantly, which causes things to go up, I guess. I don't really know.
Oh
Let's
yeah,
shop
that's a
again.
good one, Vila.
I like that.
You done? Yeah? Oh. Okay, well, I agree with VR. Like VR said, if more people are doing a certain method and they're using a shop alt, they really don't care what the price is and will pay far more than a non-shop alt user will, so prices will just continue to go up. So I'd say it has a pretty big impact on the economy as a whole.
Well, the shop kinda has an impact because it makes a lot of profit, so people get money faster. And well, there was only like 300 people, I know, max like a year ago or less. So the demand for supplies have increased so much that the cost is also increasing.
I'm gonna agree with Vior, with Oi on this one, where he said that. Sorry, Vior, but where Oi said that people would be willing to pay more money for Buyables now that they make more money with the shop. That's definitely true. Although I do believe that the extra GP that comes into the game from the shop itself does play a little bit of a factor into the inflation of the economy. So I think a combination of the two, more so focused on the on the players making more money, so they're willing to spend more basically. I think that's the main reason, but I do believe that inflation does have an impact.
Yeah. I'll just jump off of what AJ said. It's not just that people are valuing their buyables higher, but or less rather. But they can also just do their buyables more often since the shop is so AFK. You can do it with so many things that it just brings in. It allows people to pay so much money for buyables. Some people going for like 200 mil crafting and herbal and things like that. So there's more people in the market, and then also with so many people doing the shop, alkables that would normally have taken a long time to alk, or people wouldn't have been really willing to spend hundreds of millions of capital on those alkables. They're more readily able to do that with shop because you can just sell them all instantaneously. So I think it does have pretty dramatic effect.
Before we move on, let me say that I'm retarded. That example with Randy and Sten and Vestal didn't really apply. A better example would be when Zulu, Linkstein, and EG Froggen went for it. Yeah.
Yeah, I
That's
was
all.
gonna touch on what you said there, JJ, about how people can actually do the shop while they do Bibles like crafting and smithing and herblore, because they're making so much money per hour they actually can pay more than they're spending while they're playing the shop out, because it's so easy to make like over 5 mil an hour while crafting or doing herblore or smithing or something. And those skills don't even cost that much money per hour.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Typically, when multiple people are doing herblore, like all the people are usually using the shop, and they are willing to pay over what each other are paying. So that just gradually has the Bibles increase in price, and they're willing to spend more and more every day. I guess they don't really care. Like I swear, when like Razor and all of them were doing herblore, magic pots were like 6 to 7 GB per XP, and then when they finished, they were like 10 to 11.
Yeah, and when one person is going for like 200 mil crafting, that's like the equivalent of like 14 people going for 99 or something. So when you have a lot of people doing that, it kind of puts a lot of people in the market, so much demand, and it just stretches out the price for the items.
Would you guys agree that the shop makes fat profit?
Yeah, but I don't like doing the shop, so not for me.
Nah, dude, you're wrong. Shop is like, you lose money when you do the shop, obviously.
Yeah, if you're like you and you use Cleanser gloves, you don't use Cleanser gloves three for like a whole day.
Hey. Huh?
Remember how you said you use Cleanser, you didn't even use Cleanser gloves 3 for like a whole day and you didn't realize it?
Probably.
Yeah, that's a loss.
Oh. I'm gonna help the economy? I should get like BMod or something for that.
Yeah. Well, all right, moving on to the next question though. On the most recent Q&A, JMods have stated that they will be looking to potential solutions for dealing with the Kramja store. Some of these solutions include nerfing the store so that people can't make money off of it anymore. Buffing it as in adding an elite diary requirement to it, so that less people overall will be doing it in the long run, or not doing anything at all of it, I guess, and them not seeing the shop as an actual problem to the economy. What do you guys think will be most likely the case, and what do you hope will happen?
I think it's going to go down the same line as the 6-hour methods, and it's going to be eventually patched over time, but I think it's going to take a very long time for that to happen. Personally, I'd like to see the shop get completely nerfed and not be able to use it, because I think it just makes the game way too easy how you can just fund Buyables without really having to put in much effort.
Yeah, I do think that as you said, Oi, that it'll be probably going to be down a similar path, like Nightmare Zone Guthans did. Although I do feel like Jagex might see adding Elite Diary Rec as a requirement, as a plausible solution to them. Although, as we know it, all the alts that are already doing it, like the people who do Buyables, and not like the real traders, most of those will see it as they're making money from runecrafting anyway, while they're getting the requirement, which is 91 runecrafting, the main rec for Elite Diaries, they won't see a problem in going for that 91 runecraft anyway to get to the shop because they'll be making money no matter what. And the people who reroll trade with the shop obviously have to do that because that's how they play the game. So I don't think that Elite Direct will solve anything at all. I do think that the shop should just be completely nerfed because it makes it so Bible. If it was nerfed, I do believe Buyables would decrease in price over time.
I kind of disagree with you guys on the whole NMZ Guthans example because when they were looking into nerfing Guthans, didn't they say something along the lines of like they knew that the accounts were being used for like botting and all that, so like they looked for a reason to like remove Guthans and all that. They looked for a reason to take away that method. Screw you. Well, check. I'm getting RCPK'd. Fuck. I'm getting RCPK'd. No. I'm getting RCPK'd. Ah! I have 400 blood roots on me.
Not me.
Stop! Oh wait, Zibby bitch, come here, What's that? I'm getting DDS. No! Okay, anyways, get back to the question. I died, by the way. Something along the lines of... Oh yeah, with the shop, they said that the Ronin the Ronin says that the shop has minimal effects on the economy, so it looks like they're already trying to defend the shop, saying that the shop has little to no negatives with it. I guess, of course, it does have the inflation, so personally, I don't think they're really going to do anything. Plus, I don't think they would just, like, surprise us with a nerf, because if they do that, then, sadly, a lot of people will lose a lot of money because of their investments with the shop. So I doubt that will happen, but of course, I would definitely prefer if they did just nerf it, because Buyables would go down, and I don't have to say that I'm lazy or something like that, so yeah, sure.
Actually, viewer, I think the JMODs can't actually detect that people are paying more for the Buyables, because they're making more money from the shop. They probably only can detect inflation.
That's not what they're looking at. They're only looking at inflation, yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, like another problem is that Buyable supplies are going up, but they don't realize that is being caused by people doing the shop.
Man. I got wrecked.
The only way they can really like nerf the shop is instead of getting like 1.75 multiplier, then just like 1.50 or something. So you actually get less money, but still more than Elk. That's probably the only way they can really nerf it.
Yeah, actually, I think that I think the reason why they haven't like completely nerfed it already was because they want legitimate people to use it, and so I think a nerf that they could do is just limit the profit that you can make. So maybe it would be useful for some niche player, someone like an Iron Man or something like that needs to sell items or something like that. It'll be worth it for them, but it won't be worth it to actually like Altscape or something like that. So I don't know. That could be one possible nerf that they do.
I think there's multiple options that they could do. The first one, they really wouldn't do a whole lot because it would make it so shop isn't too competitive, but make it so it definitely brings in a fairly smaller amount of GP into the game per hour, I feel. Would be like when free trade first got removed, how they made shops so they were instanced for players throughout all worlds. So basically, if you sold 5 items into the shop on World 1, they would be in the shop on World 2 and so on. And that'd make it so people can't hop around on multiple accounts. But then there brings the fact that you can still just sell one item at a time, like dragon items, etc. So that really doesn't help much there. The ultimate best method would just be to remove the shop, but
like having it instant to all worlds, wouldn't that crash people who run nets?
It wouldn't crash people who run nats if they have their own essence, because other people like wouldn't be able to take the essence out of the shop.
I guess.
It basically makes it so the items that you sell to the shop are only visible to you, but in every single world.
Something that's also interesting is how their mindset or how they view the game may have changed, because like when you think about Zaya, those 3 stores in Zaya, how those were in the game, those were probably designed late 2015, early 2016 when they were implemented for Zaya release, and then the shop eventually got buffed essentially so that you had to have hard diaries like a month later, I think it was, and then like 5 months later, you had that leak where some people found out about those 3 stores and how overpowered they were because you had no requirements for basically the same effect, and they removed it instantly. So it's kind of interesting that they put it into the game, but then when they found, like a few months later, they take it out immediately. So they must be aware now how dangerous like it could be to have a shop like that. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's
Those
also
were on
quite
a
funny.
much higher scale.
Yeah, definitely. Like it would have been with no requirements, it would have been way more overpowered. But since they obviously want requirements for the shop, like I feel like their mindset had to have changed how they view like the shop. I don't know.
But
Like
it is quite
how overpowered it could potentially be.
it is quite funny that you can go to the Fountain of Rune and like hire for free, and then you could just use the shop for a little more.
Yeah, but who's gonna bring all those supplies to the fountain room?
Yeah, exactly.
Like you have to be really stupid to do that.
Yeah.
Like Crescendo or something.
What the fuck?
Leave my eat out of this.
Thanks, baby.
Okay?
Yeah.
Alright.
Alright, well, moving on to the next question. As a response to Dukami's recent video about burnout mentality, does social pressure affect how you play the game? For example, some players are heavily influenced to play an alternative account, but at the same time not enjoying this playstyle. What are your thoughts on this?
No. I don't play on an alt. Some people say I should, or whatever, like, people you talk to in TS or in CC. But I don't play an alt, so I play an Ultimate Iron Man on the side for fun. That's because I enjoy it.
Did you get pressured
but
into it?
No. Lord Speed continually encourages me to play, but sometimes I don't play because I don't want to, or I'm doing something click intensive or whatever. So I don't really bother. I don't really like conform to what other people want, so yeah, it doesn't really affect me.
Let's see. I don't really think that people take each other too seriously when people are trying to persuade each other to play a certain way. Personally, I guess I'm easily influenced by other people, but it's okay. I don't know, but I don't know. I feel like Dukami in his video, like, he made good points. People do act like that, but typically they're not genuine. They're not saying, oh, if you don't play with an alt, if you don't play to your maximum abilities or whatever, you don't play on 4 alts or whatever, I don't know. They don't actually care. Like, I don't hate JJ because he's not playing on alts. I don't make fun of him or anything like that. I let him play the way he wants to play. Of course, I might say, oh, JJ, you should make an alt and start doing lavas or something instead for fun, but I don't actually mean it, and he won't actually do it.
What if you ended up triggering him 1 point though, VR?
Like, if he were to talk to me one-on-one about it, I'd apologize and say, like, I didn't mean it, but if he were to just take it to heart and not talk to me about it, then his loss, make an alt, burn out.
Yeah, I mean, like back when back when I first started playing, I didn't really use alts at all. I didn't use AHK to drop items and such. Although after a while, I eventually got kind of pressured into it. I mean, like I saw everyone, well, not everyone, but a lot of people started using alts, and most people were just using AHK at the time as well. So I figured, well, the first thing I tried doing was trying to use AHK, and I failed miserably at that because I actually sucked at using AHK, and I gave up on it for quite a while. And then I eventually came back to it, and then I tried playing an alternative account, but I was lagging a bit. So I got really disappointed because I was put at a disadvantage compared to everyone else, but eventually I figured out how to make it work for me somehow. And yeah, nowadays the meta, I guess, is to play a shop alt. Although I as much as I wish I could conform to this meta, based on everyone influencing me to do it, I can't actually do that because if I want to live stream, I can't really play 2 clients at once, so I choose to use a flipping alt instead. So I guess you could say I'm sort of pressured, but I just can't do it. Or I'm not pressured, I'm just looking for an excuse to show that I'm not pressured or something like that, even though it's not true.
I'd say I've definitely been influenced over the long period of time with mainly alts and I guess AHK, well, diagonals. But with alts, I don't think I would have ever made a shop alt if other people didn't really tell me about it or show me how good they actually were. But currently I'm just playing on a rune crafting alt because I find it more fun. So I'd say I'm kind of pressured into doing certain things, but not for everything.
Never really been influenced to do something by anyone. Really just kind of play the game relaxed. If I'm not having fun, I just log off. But I can definitely see how it'd be easy to get influenced by your friends to do certain things because a lot of people, they look up to their peers for approval. So I can kind of see it in that sense, but other than that, I don't really see why anyone would actually listen to other people on how to play a game. I mean, you're playing a game for fun. Everyone has different
Fun.
opinions on what's fun and what's not. So I actually don't agree with the burnout mentality thing.
There is definitely some pressure. Like the rankings keep changing for the CC requirement and stuff, so you have to like keep up the pace. And if you don't have the free time, then you have to like do something else, get the HP. And the entire like Twitter community is just picking on you if you don't conform.
Would you call it social pressure if you want to just follow the meta that everyone else is doing?
No, but
Would-
it
Well,
could be.
That's
Not
being
if you wanted
influenced.
to.
Are you being
Influenced,
influenced
let's
by
not-
the mathematical efficiency of something, or are you being influenced by, like, I don't know, like you're doing something you don't want to necessarily do?
Well,
there's
I mean,
different ways.
I wouldn't say that. I'd say like mathematically yes, because I don't think any people were doing agility heating at the time that I thought I would be definitely doing it for sure with agility. Like I was the only person who said, well, maybe not the only person, but out of the people that I talked to, I was the only one who said that, yeah, I'm gonna be doing agility heating, terminal agility and smithing, even though no one else does that, but it is mathematically efficient to do. So I guess in that sense, I'm probably not socially conforming to a meta, but at the same time, if I didn't know that anybody else was using alternative accounts, but I knew it was legal, I probably wouldn't be doing it as well.
I think there's a difference between doing something because you think like doing something you don't want to do necessarily, but because it's mathematically efficient, and then doing something that's mathematically efficient, like you don't have any hesitation against the method or anything like that. You fully endorse whatever the methods are. So I guess, for example, for me, it would be runecrafting nets versus Serb Slayer. I'm fine with both methods, but Serb Slayer I'm doing right now because it's a little bit better with current nat prices. So, I mean, I'll do either method though, and I have my own goals within them. So I don't think I'm really socially conforming.
Would you say that doing something only to be competitive would be kind of social pressure?
Maybe. I mean, it depends on how well you want to do it, or like, do you actually want to do that method? Would it be my question? I don't know.
Well, you want to do that method because it's the most efficient and it's the easiest way to compete.
I mean, I guess.
But then,
I
you're
would,
throwing like competing is your main drive, basically. Is that social pressure?
I don't know. Maybe. I think it depends. I think it depends on the person and the context. Like, I would find social pressure to be like someone bullying someone into something or pressuring someone into doing something they may not necessarily want to do.
I think that if you do like 50 mil runecrafting SP from souls, then there's probably gonna be some peeking on you.
I mean, people have definitely been bullied into certain mentalities. People have definitely been bullied into certain mentalities, especially when it comes to Altscape for sure. And I mean, I admit that I'm one of those people at a certain point in time, I guess.
There are some times for me where I actually enjoy altscaping, but I'd say like I can only do it in small bursts or I get really bored of it. Anybody else the same way?
Wait, say that again, sorry?
Like I can only do altscaping in small bursts, like short periods of time, or I get like bored of it really easily.
I have a different mentality, whereas I hop between different altscape methods
I do that too,
very
but
frequently. Like I'll be in the mood to do shop, and then I'll be in the mood to do nature rune crafting, and then I'll be in the mood to do GE merging.
yeah,
I can never really make up my mind, I guess.
I'm kind of similar.
For me, it's like I usually get a couple of days of motivation to go hard on my alt, and then after that, I go like another couple of days where I just don't want to play it at all.
I also find like when I was doing a shop, like Ray mentioned this earlier in TS, like if you're not playing on the shop alt, you feel like kind of bad because you're not playing to maximum efficiency. Like kind of like what Dukami was saying in his video too. So like
It's like
I don't
once
know.
you go shop, you can't go back, kind of thing.
Yeah, kind of
Yeah.
yeah. You just kind of feel bad because you could be making so much money when you're not playing on it.
It probably really demotivates people when they start off a Karamja shop alt and they get to the shop, and after the first day they get bullied out of the shop by people who normally do the shop and just crash them to try and get them out of their worlds.
Yeah.
It really demotivates players.
Ace too cool.
Except Ace Too Cool still does it.
Yeah,
He's
So
one of
he
the
hasn't
bullies.
really been bullied. Yeah, he's the bullier, bully.
that's the point I was making.
That's why I like rune crafting alt because you don't really have to worry about other people except for PKers. But I think when somebody tries to PK me, it's kind of fun getting away from them.
Well, since no one has anything else to add, I'll move on to the next question. What are your thoughts on the recent dev blog regarding the proposed raise rewards being nerfed? Some examples of these nerfs are the Elder Wand nerf, the Elder Maul nerf, and the Kodai robes. This nerf affects players mainly who will be barraging some Slayer tasks.
My opinions on the nerfs? First off, I want to add, I'm pretty sure they rebuffed like the wand and they made it OP again, but
Yeah, they did.
Oh,
I would like to. My answer is I think they're stupid for nerfing it. They should buff it all and just make it like 200k Slayer XP an hour. Like I really don't know, man. Like I haven't looked into the raids too much myself, but would you know what the reasonings for nerfing those items were? Like what was OP about them? If you know off the top of your head, anybody?
I really don't know, to be honest. Like, I heard like that some Hexus members wanted to keep it secret that how OP the Elder Wand really was, so it probably was really OP at the time, and a nerf was probably reasonable. Although if it's rebuffed again, I guess I don't see the point in talking about the wand.
Why did they rebuff it? Were people complaining?
Probably.
I guess it's probably what people didn't vote for, so they complained about it.
Oh wait, weren't the robes like going to be best in slot, but with like a prayer bonus too? So not only will it make Slayer faster, but it'll also make it cheaper. Like that's kind of ridiculous. So
There were robes.
yeah,
Go on,
the
go on.
Ko something robes, or the Jedi
Kodai.
robes, like yeah,
Yeah.
maybe they took away like the prayer bonus or something because apparently that was going to be really OP to the point like Slayer would be cheaper and faster.
There were robes in RS3 that were prayer based, but they were a little bit less. They had a little bit less magic bonus than the best in slot magic robes. I think that would have been a much better balancing technique. Keep Arims at top tier like magic bonus, and then have these Kodai robes with slightly less magic bonus but more prayer bonus to have more of a balance, I guess, within the magical robes.
Probably.
The whole gear is just laughable. How they're trying to like make it better than Aaron's, but they're just like buffing every stat instead of like one, so it's just gonna be OP as fuck.
Are all the armors degradable?
I
Um,
don't think so.
else.
Oh, are they? I didn't even know that.
I think they are. I could be wrong.
It would have been crazy if it wasn't.
So with that, what you were saying, viewer, with that prayer gear or whatever, Would that even be feasible to still wear if it's degradable?
Oh, if it's degradable, probably not. Like I was under the impression that I had prayer gear or prayer bonus, and it was best in slot mage, which would have been ridiculous. If it's degradable, maybe not. It depends on the cost of recharging or repairing.
I heard it was going to be quite a bit. That wasn't really worth it, except for DMing, I believe.
Everything is degradable besides the robes.
Oh,
Apparently.
so the robes were okay.
Also, the robes aren't degradable, so yep, OP.
Okay.
Yeah.
Motherfucking Jedi Master robes right there.
I think another thing I'd like to touch on that I forgot to add in this question is more talking about why the raids just haven't been out yet when they promised to be early summer.
I don't think JJ got a chance to respond.
Go on, JJ. Sorry.
Or Crescendo either.
Yeah, I think I'm a little confused. Like, they made it sound in the dev blog that this is going to be extremely expensive armor, and it's going to be degradable, and you're going to have to spend a lot of money to repair it, etc. So it's not going to be worth training with or doing anything like that. Then it probably wouldn't be worth doing PvP with either if it's so expensive. You'd be high risking it or something. I don't know. I'm not an expert on that, so I don't know what else it would be used for. PVM, I guess, but I don't know. That would sink into your profits, wouldn't it? I guess maybe it would make your trips longer or something. I really don't know. For the melee, at least.
Also, these equipment haven't been pulled yet, apparently.
Oh yeah, they have like this like problem where they want to release high level PVM content, but then they don't want to have a power creep, but they want the rewards to be worth doing. And a lot of people say that raids or whatever the rewards aren't good, or at least that was what some people were saying. And then other people don't want to have power creeps, so it's kind of counterintuitive in that sense.
That's why it's required. It's pretty much required for balancing purposes to create armor that's good in different ways.
Yeah.
But not completely good, like not completely better in every single way.
Yeah, niche.
Yeah.
Like niche roles and etc. for armors and stuff. But
Wait, are you trying to like say like maybe have like Arams like best in slot for this thing like Zora or something, like have the Jedi robes or whatever best in slot for I don't know some other boss maybe barrage or use magic or something? Is that what you mean, AJ?
Yes.
Like you keep all like you don't devalue
Existing
previous
content. Exactly.
Okay, I gotcha.
Although I mean in turn it will be devalued no matter what, but by a certain percentage, of course. Like there would be some cases where you won't be like using Arams, for example, so it'd be slightly less of a price, but it won't completely devalue the item so that no one will ever use it again.
Right. You want them to still have Arams to be relevant. You don't want them to just be dead content.
Yeah.
I don't know, this armor kind of sounds like the next armors. Like, with the Elder weapons coming out kind of being somewhat similar to what Chaotix used to be, like I'm assuming that's what they're aiming for with them, not like at the same power level, but the same aspect that it's just like best in slot, like Omega tier gear. I kind of like that, but at the same time, I don't really think there's anything in old school that really needs really good armor right now. Hopefully that changes with raids, but most likely won't.
Nothing really needs good armor. It'll just increase kills per hour, I guess, and kills per trip.
Yeah,
For
but
some
then
bosses.
when you get into that, you start entering into the realm of like the player could do a 100 kill Bandos trio, and now they can do like a 140 kill Bandos trio with the new stuff. And does it make does it devalue this armor because you can camp it a lot easier and such? And I really don't feel like getting into that because that's just way too frustrating.
Well, that's what the question's about.
I just don't think that they should add really OP shit. Like, the armor that they showed looks really broken. Even though it degrades, it still looks broken as all hell. And if you're an alt user, like, it's not going to be difficult to sustain payments for it. And I just feel that's how it's going to be.
Yeah, and it's also gonna be hilarious if it's too expensive to even use for raids.
Like, isn't that the point of releasing new content? Like, oh, we're releasing new weapons and armor, so you can use them at the place where you got them and make it easier.
Yeah.
JK, it's not going to be efficient because it's going to be way too damn expensive, or they're not going to have that great of an impact.
Yeah.
XD.
I feel like Jagex would do
I
something
mean,
like
it
that.
will lower in price to the point where people will like they will have a use at some point in some part of the game. It won't just be completely dead content if it has best in slot bonuses. If people won't use it, the price will decrease to the point where people will start using it.
Yeah, and then it's gonna be OP as fuck.
I don't think it's really the price, like the base price of it. Because the thing is, even if an Elysian Spirit Shield was degradable, people would still use it because of the extra effect that it has and the stats that it gives. But I feel that's going to be the same way with this armor. Even if it's really expensive, if it's really OP, people will still pay 300 mil for a set of armor that they have to pay, like, what, maybe a mil every 10 hours to repair?
Yeah,
Like,
and just use ult.
You're thinking to yourself, in 10 hours of doing just Bandos, you'll make over a mil just from the GP. 10 hours of Zulrah, you're looking at like 20 mil. This armor, unless it's like 10 mil per 10 hours, isn't going to be that huge. And I don't see them doing something like, shut the fuck up, Bior.
In any case, I do think that the armor will decrease relative to how decrease in price relative to how many people will be using it. So it'll find its way into the economy somehow. And people will use it. Maybe less people will use it if it costs more to repair, but people will use it for something. And I guess that's the goal here with this update.
Bank standing or standing at the duel arena with your Ferrari or your Lamborghini.
Well, I mean actually using it in combat.
Yeah, you can use your Lamborghini in combat.
You know what I mean. Alright, moving on. Next question. What is more respectable in your opinion? Completing your goals and then just quitting right afterwards, or completing your goals and then setting another goal but failing during that goal? Which scenario is more impressive? And in my opinion, I do believe that the scenario of completing your goals and then setting a new goal and failing is still very respectable because it shows that you accept failure. And sometimes accepting failure is important in learning. Whereas completing your goals and then not setting any more goals because you're afraid of failure is a bad thing in my opinion. Cristiano, you're a fucking retard.
Pretty much.
Shut the fuck up.
So, is this in the context of just like purely RuneScape? Because like I feel like if someone completes a 200 mil really long and then they just go do real life shit, I feel like they'll be completing goals in real life as well.
This will be RuneScape related because
Okay, well,
it gets
I
too
mean,
complicated with IRL.
Yeah, I mean, I guess with RuneScape then, I mean, if they complete a goal and then they keep going for other ones, that's progress. So, I mean, I guess progress is better than not getting progress. I don't know. And you're still trying to do other things. I guess it's more respectable to go for something and then complete it and then go for something else and completely fail rather than just complete something and you're done. So, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, sorry. I'm gonna go with the opposite side of things. I think it's more respectable to complete all your goals and then quit because, well, you've completed everything you wanted to do on the game, as opposed to you completed some of your goals but you failed one of them before you could actually complete all your goals and then quit the game. So
Name and shame.
I'd definitely say it's the first one.
Name and shame.
See, I would have to go with the first one as well. Like, I don't know. You shouldn't. Actually, you know what? Change my mind halfway through. Fuck it, dude. Do the second one. Like, don't just give up because you're not like comfortable with other skills. Like, don't be a Bradford. Like, oh yeah, I do 200 agility. That's it. I don't know what else to do. Like, if you finish your goal, like, before you say, you know what? I'm not playing this game anymore. I'm done. Try something else. See if you like it. If you don't like it, that's fine. You can quit. You're still cool as fuck. But just don't like quit and like be like, all right, got myself 200 mil mining. That's all I'm good for. I'm not good for anything else. Like, I suck at this game. I'm retarded. I'm just a crescendo. Like, you don't do that. That's just not right. Like, come on, man.
What?
Did
Like
you get
it-
priority? Okay, no, I thought you had priority speaker again.
Like it's quit like right after 200 mil farming instead of just chilling with something else. But I guess it's the way to like quit on top.
Quit while
Well, I
you're
will-
ahead. That's definitely a
Yeah.
good mentality.
Well, I know I will probably just play until I fail, and I find that more respectable.
You're wrong.
Why is he wrong?
I'm sorry. I didn't say anything. I'll just take off.
Nice.
I'd go with the first one. I think you should complete your goals and then quit. Yo, I'm sorry. Does getting banned halfway through your goals count on this, or
That's more respectable. I have to redo all my accomplishments. That's more respectable, man. Like when Link's Time says he got 200 mil and I get 200 mil, I'll be like, yeah, well, I did 200 with thieving twice, bitch. What about you?
Yeah, he's terminal in RS3.
Oh shit, never mind. I'm chat.
I definitely think that completing your goals and then send another one and then failing halfway through, or maybe not halfway through, but part of the way through, is impressive because you're accepting defeat, and accepting defeat is a part of learning. Although you could say that quitting while you're ahead is also a sense of accomplishment and satisfaction, although it shows a lack of trying new things out when even though they might not
Gotta
go well
piss.
for you.
Yeah, but most people that like if they don't finish their goal and they burn out of it, like they get made fun of. Like, okay, I'm not trying to be mean here, but look at your Curry. He goes for 200 mil mining, doesn't get it, gets bullied, and you
That's
reach his
life.
first goal 200 mil cooking. So like, is that really more respectable than somebody that reaches all of their goals?
Because Yukori tried something out and tried something new to see if he was actually able to do it, and he found out that he wasn't able to do it right away, rather than saying, okay, well, I finished terminal cooking and max. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do terminal mining, so I'm probably not gonna set that goal for it because I don't want to set myself up for failure. Whereas
fair enough.
I think setting yourself up for failure, but not for the purpose of failing. Although it might seem stupid to do, if you triumph and go through with it and you end up actually succeeding, you make yourself even more proud at the end of the day. Whereas if you fail, you say, well, I tried my best, but I was not able to do it, so at least I tried. But at least I didn't give up and not basically try it, if that makes sense.
So
Yeah.
do you respect, okay, in this scenario, looking at it just as this and not like what skills they did, do you respect Kaiman more than Sten? Since Kaiman tried a different goal and didn't do it, but Sten completed both his goals and then quit.
That depends on the morale
Pause.
behind what Sten did, though. Did Sten quit because he wanted to focus on other things IRL, or did he quit because he didn't see himself being able to complete another goal, such as perhaps 100 mil runecrafting or 200 mil runecrafting or another Buyables, for example? It depends on the morale behind what Sten did, and also the morale behind what Kaiman did. Did he set the goal of 200 mining thing that he was actually going to do it, or did he set himself the goal of 200 mining to try and hype it up for nothing? I guess there's
I'm
two
not
different
sure. I
variables you have
guess
to
you'd have to
consider
ask him,
with
yeah.
that.
Not mistaken, Kaiman did 80 mining or something like that, and then just did runecrafting. Meanwhile,
Okay.
Sten did almost like 20 mil Hunter and things like that, and kept flipping. So he technically embarked on his next goal further than Kaiman did.
Oh yeah, shit, I didn't even completely forgot he did
Yeah.
Hunter.
Wait.
Oh yeah, that's true. Forgot.
Kaiman, like, are you trying to say like Kaiman tried a new goal and like burnt out of it? No. His goals were like 200 mil rune crafting A, agility B, construction C, and D mining. He's currently working towards the goal of those 4 200 mils still. So he ain't no burnout. Leave my Belgium knees boy out of this.
But he did say he wanted to do tuner mining straight, and he did attempt it, and he
Yeah.
said he gave up on it.
Yeah.
I don't
But
believe
he's like 80 mining.
I don't believe it.
If
I
I'm
don't
not
believe it.
mistaken.
You're lying.
I don't think that's even like that far into the goal.
Well, considering he started at 75 and he was thinking about it all the way till 80 mining, that's still a few hours to give yourself time to think about it.
There's a lot of accounts. There's a lot of accounts that are like maxed with like 25 mil cooking. I wouldn't even like consider that people that really embarked on tuner mil cooking. Really, I mean.
Maybe to them it is.
I mean, maybe. I don't know.
But yeah, people are still bullying me, but I'm not out of the game yet.
Wait, who?
Like, people keep making fun of me, but I'm not done yet.
Making fun of who?
Me?
Oh, okay. Wait, what?
I mean, like, I finished tuner mining thinking I wasn't going to play the game anymore, but then I ended up thinking, well, you know, I'll try thieving because I really enjoyed doing Pyramid Plunder as a break from mining every now and then. And I ended up trying Pyramid Plunder, and now I'm setting myself the goal of tuner mill thieving once again, complete another tuner mill, and I'm proud that I was able to keep on setting goals for myself rather than give up thinking that tuner mill mining was the only thing that was going to make me feel accomplished. Which, in my opinion, would have been a worse mentality. Seeing as I will still have a lot of free time and will not know what to do with it. If I had stopped playing RuneScape because I finished tuner mill mining. But, okay, moving on. What are your thoughts on the recent hacks of many high-ranked players, including people affiliated with the Hexus offsite and many top-page Ironmen? And now the Hexus offsite database was leaked about a week ago, I think, around that time. And many of the usernames, emails that were associated with the Hexus offsite were also identical to the emails associated with those players' accounts. So a lot of them were actually able to get hacked through that offsite. And I think about 3 people, Andrew Wiggins, T Karma, and Iceland Nick were the ones that I remember that got hacked. And then there were quite a few Ironmen that got hacked, including Devious Mud, Lake, although he was hacked a very long time ago. I don't know if it was related to this database leak though. Dab of Iron, Vex Virus, and many others I can't think of at the top of my head. Maybe Christian will be able to help me out with this one.
Iron Haunter.
Any others?
Dad's Rax.
Now I do believe
Iron
that...
Noob Man too. There.
Okay, thanks. I do believe that Jagex is in some way neglecting a lot of these Iron Man's requests, such as having their accounts locked pre-hack because they know they're going to get hacked, but they do not lock their accounts anyway. And some of them have ended up getting hacked after they asked for their account to get locked by a JMod, and they refused to do so. What do you guys think about this and Jagex's poor decision making on the situation? Or great,
The
or
Iron probably deserved it.
for why? Why?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean the Iron Man. I just meant Crescendo. If he ever gets hacked,
Wait,
I'm in
what?
support.
Yo, fuck
But
you.
but the Hexus offsite though, it kind of sucks. Like, I'm pretty sure for the Hexus offsite, you actually need an email to like actually apply and get accepted. Like, they actually email you saying they accepted you to the offsite as well. Like, pretty sure the Solace offsite completely removed that whole step in order to secure accounts. Like, that is a big L for Hexus. No offense. I don't like making those.
Another
Ls
L for
whatever.
Hexus.
I don't. What L? What was the first? But anyways, like.
Okay, Matto.
I don't like making those jokes, but seriously, like, it's kind of a given. Like, you're at risk of, like, everything's at risk of, like, getting leaked or something. Like, I don't know how shit works, but, like, everything's at risk. Why would you store a bunch of people's emails that could potentially be used for recoveries on their accounts? Like, I don't know, it makes no sense to me. And for the Iron Man, they typically have like less secure accounts because they're kind of not really expecting it to be hacked. But maybe people watch Leveldore's videos and they notice how he has a big bank and they just assume other Iron Men have big banks too, so they just YOLO in and see what they can get, knowing that they have pretty insecure accounts as well. So maybe that's why that's happening. I don't think the Iron Man's related to the Hex's offsite. I think it's just a coincidence with the timing, but it's pretty unfortunate though. Like, all jokes aside, I would never wish upon anyone being hacked. So that's upsetting.
Yeah, like everyone is getting hacked and stuff, but the Iron Man getting hacked is probably like they don't have a mule account they can put all their stuff onto or something. They just have huge banks and they can't really get rid of the stuff. So they are clearly like a target for hackers all the time.
XD.
I think it's pretty scary that it seems like really easily to get hacked. Yeah, that's about it.
Oh no.
I don't care
I'm
that
not
people get
accepting
hacked.
this. No, I'm not accepting this. That wasn't a good one at all, Oi. Yeah, that's what he gets.
Wrecked pleb. Personally, it scares the shit out of me because I sit over here with like a decent sized bank, and like that doesn't even bother me. Like, if I got hacked and they took like all my items in my bank but left the banked XP, I'd be pissed that I got hacked, but I mean, at least I got the banked XP.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know, right? But like, I have a couple mil herb XP that if I got hacked for, that's like 100+ hours just gone. Fucking sucks. So. Oh, and the Iron Man CC forums, apparently either the information is getting sold to the person attacking the people, or the database just got hacked. But that's why all the Iron Men are getting hacked as of recent.
Yeah, I heard about the owner of Iron Man potentially knowing some information. God damn
Come on
it.
now. We're
Damn
just
it.
being immature now, aren't we?
Oh god, okay. Did you say anything about the Iron Man CC crescendo, by the way?
I said that their database either got leaked or the owner of the site was selling it to the person attacking everyone.
Ooh, naughty. That's a good one, eh? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Moving on.
Alright, yeah, let's move on to the next question though. What are your opinions on the recent construction update? This introduced quicker transportation, a gold sync, a use for weapon logs, altars which swap your current spellbook, and the pools which restore HP, run energy, and hit points. Those things. What do you guys think about that update all as a whole?
Retarded.
I
Overall, I
realized
think
we
it's...
skipped a.
Did we skip someone?
Yeah, we skipped JJ on the last question.
Oh,
Secret.
Oh, this is just a fail cast.
that's the 11th challenge.
This is a parody podcast.
That's the 11th
Oh, the
challenge.
hidden challenge?
Yeah.
Did we do it?
Oh, hidden Easter egg.
No, we did. We skipped JJ.
Yes.
Is he?
got
Wait,
it.
JJ, are you here?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Did you want to put input on that last question?
I don't think there's really anything else to say.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay,
Apparently-
back to you, Oi.
Okay, opinions on the recent construction update. Overall, I think it's pretty good. I like that they have a new gold sync. I'm not sure how much money is taken out of the game so far, but last I heard it was like 600, 700 mil off day one, so that's pretty nice. Redwood logs don't really have a use. I'm pretty sure it's inefficient to make the what's it called, fence, because it makes you lose a tick when you're trying to run by it. The transportations is always nice. It makes it easier for especially Iron Man to get around the game. And the altars, I think they're kind of OP, and personally it makes well, not personally, but it makes Desert Elite kind of pointless, and that kind of sucks for the people that got Desert Elite done. But yeah. Overall, I think it was a pretty good update.
Yeah, like the Desert Elite is probably like obsolete right now. But like some of the items in the construction update is good. Like you could actually restore special attack now, which is pretty nice.
It's also pretty overpowered as well.
Yeah. But I won't be using much of it, so I don't really care.
The overall update, easily say best of 2016. Holy shit. First of all, the room mover, so fucking nice.
Yeah, that's
like
nice.
Literally all the ugly ass rooms that I had in my house, I just moved them downstairs in the basement like the unwanted redheaded stepchild. Sorry, Randy.
Hey!
Ooh.
Dude, someone had to take a shot at him. Brad's not here. I had to
Civil.
do it. Anyways, fucking moved all the ugly ass rooms down into the basement. My house looks fly as fuck now. Too bad it took 40 hours to get the fucking scepter. Shit was AIDS. But best update ever.
Unlike Crescendo, I don't really like this update that much. I feel like the requirements are really low. How much can you boost for a con? It's like 6 or 7? 8? Shit, so you only need 82 con to get maxed. Oh, I mean, I don't think 82 con should trump Desert Elites. I don't mind devaluation as long as it's like judiciously balanced and applied, but I don't feel like this is a good balance to Desert Elite at all. I think it would have been nice if they put in some better requirements or somehow made some like buff to Desert Elite. I don't know. People spent so much time grinding KQ heads, and I don't know, it's just devalued. So, whatever. It's really convenient for me though, because I just hit the house tab now. So yeah.
Okay. As you
Gotta
all may
piss.
know... Okay. As you all may know, I am probably one of the most moral players in this game, and I'm actually kind of disappointed on how this is just completely Well, what's so funny?
Sorry. What the
No, what's so funny? What's so funny, yeah?
Oh my god, dude, I'm sorry. I'm one of the most moral players in the game, dude. I'm pretty sure Brad's hurting wherever he's at right now.
I see how it is. You know, no, I don't need to answer this.
Oh, something? Can I add something?
Yeah, go ahead.
It also devalues the quest kit, which they literally just released like 2-3 months ago. Like the Tully?
I heard that the quest cape is still closer.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I think
Well,
Automology
I
was
mean,
saying that.
it's just still, it's so much easier though with this. I don't know.
Is it though?
I mean,
Quest
you
cape
don't
is
have
just
to
a
have
single
like
item.
if you were going somewhere where you needed both Desert Ammy and Quest Cape, now you just take house tabs.
Yeah.
Desert Ammy and quest cape.
Yeah, so for example, like Zulrah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd probably just take house tabs.
Oh yeah, because you're using the quest cape saves an inventory spot, or if you're wearing it, I guess it saves an inventory slot.
You wouldn't wear Desert Ammy on any like PVM thing, I don't think. Maybe
Be
you
okay
would.
if you
Oh
are.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, you wouldn't wear that. I'm an idiot. Well, yeah. I do think that it was kind of counterproductive or counterintuitive, whatever, to add the redwood fences when they just kind of they kind of waste your time anyway if you're trying to get to the pools efficiently. So when they said they added a use to redwood logs, they kind of added a use if you wanted to really like decorate your house and just like kind of sacrifice a bit of efficiency. Not that efficiency is the most important thing for everyone, but it kind of makes it useless to people like us, I guess. Also, I noticed that you could probably get a lot of melee XP per hour if you're using the special attack pool and having an alt run into your house and then killing the alt with constant special attacks, such as like with a dragon dagger or a granite maul or something.
They patched that.
Did they? Okay, well then never
Yeah, you
mind.
can't use the pool while in combat anymore.
Okay, that's a good patch then. I mean, yeah, it kind of made like doing Corporal Beast a lot more convenient, and I think it increased the efficiency of doing it if you're a non-alt user as well, which kind of spices up the non-alt user game a bit. If that's what you play as. But all in all, I think the overhaul of PH Pro has definitely made it more possible for in the future JMods updating player and house pros, because they basically it was an overhaul of the code, right, where they can basically add more
Yeah.
options per room.
Yeah,
So
they can add like 7 extra hotspots per room now.
Yeah, that's definitely a great addition. That definitely foreshadows much more quality construction updates in the future. Did you want to add something, viewer? Or
Oh, I just did.
Yeah, Crescendo's a fucking retard.
I agree.
I agree as well.
hey,
He
you
is a
can't
fucking
you can't do
retard.
the
All in
agree
favor say
part.
aye.
You have to you have to actually say it though.
But,
Rip.
what?
All right, moving on. Next question.
Wait, I wasn't done.
Go on.
Alright, I'm done now.
All right, next question. Do you think money-making method videos ruin the money-making methods themselves? An example of this phenomenon is a friend making a video about many obscure money-making methods, and then a couple of days later, these methods being completely unviable because of the publication of these methods.
Personally, I feel a lot of people, they jump on new money-making methods, kind of like just jump on the bandwagon. They try them, see that they're good, and then they tell other people. It eventually spreads, and then it starts becoming less profitable. People get agitated because it's less profitable, so people stop doing it. And then eventually, there's either very few people doing it where it becomes profitable again, or it's just like a dead market because it becomes botted. So I honestly think that the money-making videos actually ruin the methods.
Well, the money-making methods suddenly increases the supply of the items, which kind of ruins the market.
Yeah, I don't think I really see like it's basically counterproductive to release a money-making method, letting people know that they should be doing this, when in turn it's just going to make the money-making method worse. So the video that people are watching is completely useless information at that point, because it's not helping them at all. When the whole purpose of you making the video was supposed to be helping people, now they can't abuse the method. So what's the point of making the video? It just ruins other people's lives that actually went out and found this money-making method and abused it.
My turn. I guess I was a yes, but I don't really think that these methods actually get abused, or not abused, ruined or leaked. Like, you know that Frame dude? He made like a response video to the Karamja shop video he made, like pretty much where he went to the Karamja shop again day 2 after the video got like 20 billion views or something like that. And pretty much he was hopping through those worlds, and like there was nobody there still. Like it probably looked like an average day. Nothing changed. The requirements were just too high. And like he went on to do this for like 4 other methods as well that he was that he made videos on, and all of which were still viable. And so I don't know.
Depends on the method, I guess.
Like I can understand if it's like a friend kind of deal or whatever. Like I think we were talking about this pre-podcast. Like he was leaking methods that were extremely obscure that really had no, like multiple people really couldn't do it at the same time, and even if multiple people did it, it would completely ruin the method. Unlike the shop, where like it's survival of the fittest. If multiple people are doing it, the worst, like the people that aren't as skilled will not make as much money or money at all, but it'd still be a viable method for the people that are already doing it because they know what they're doing already. If that makes any sense, hopefully it does. And
Okay.
I don't know how to wrap this up, so I'm just gonna leave it there.
Miro, wouldn't you say it's survival of the fittest for most money-making methods when it's like you're gathering stuff?
To some extent, to a small extent, with a shop, it's like a perfect example of it because Omar could probably make the same amount of money as he was making like a week ago today. But like, let's say someone leaked the Snape grass collecting method, only everyone would just be camping the same or one spawn, so everyone would be making like a third of the money or something like that. Whereas people who are like, they know what they're doing, they know like how the thing works, they're not going to be affected like at all. They're just going to bully everyone out pretty much. If that makes any sense, hopefully
Yeah,
it
no,
does.
yeah, it does. It does completely. My opinion on this is I personally think these videos ruin money-making methods, just obviously because a lot of people are going to be influenced by it and do it initially, and items prices will drop, or too many people will be doing it for it to be viable and to get those items.
Yeah, it seems pretty obvious. Like if you're the only one that knew of like the shop, like way back in the day, obviously you'd make a ton of money. Whereas if other people knew about it, it would crowd the shops and stuff, so you wouldn't make as much money. It seems pretty obvious because the more supply you have in a market, there's going to be surplus, which will just eventually knock down prices, which will just decrease your profit. So like when you were talking about a friend, Vior or whatever, it's kind of funny because I think in his video he had like, he made one video about like buying like bananas, I think it was, and then like a week later he was showing these obscure, even more obscure money making methods, and like he was buying like monkey nuts, I think it was, and he was like showing them like, because he went to the same store, I believe it was, and people were buying the bananas, but no one was buying the monkey nuts, and he was like, you can kind of see like a side by side, like people are doing this method, but not this method because it's not really widely known. So you can kind of see side by side, like I don't know, just that aspect of the video was kind of interesting.
Yeah, Alkan also made a video like in 2014 or something about like string and jewelry, and he had like halved the price.
Yeah, like I think it was, yeah, not video showing money. I guess this doesn't necessarily apply just to money making methods, but showing a video on like anything with money, like if it's a good buyable method that's cheap. I think someone did this with like one of the bigger YouTubers did this with like, I don't know, I think it was like molten glass or something along those lines. I don't know. And then also like Zarfot back in the day, like I think he like told a bunch of people about like how cheap extreme magic potions were, and then everyone jumped on it and he like flipped off of everyone and made like a bill and then did overloads even cheaper. So I mean it's kind of funny because in like extreme magics were essentially ruined at that point. So obviously it's pretty obvious that the more knowledge that people have of a method, the less viable it would be.
Also, like for methods such as like runecrafting nature runes or cutting magic trees or whatever, like there's such a high demographic of players that already do those methods, so informing people of this money making method will probably not have any impact at all whatsoever. And since a lot of people already did the shop, and like more people than the worlds can handle, it's not going to affect it at all when framed makes a video about it. Because there's already overflow of people that are doing it, so
Yeah, because those markets are pretty stable already. Like, I mean, well, I guess a lot of them are kind of going down and up or whatever, but like, there's tons of people that craft nature, and so the prices are reasonably stable.
yeah, it'd be hard to inform people of runecrafting nature runes and actually have that cause a drop in the nature rune price because of how many people that already do it.
Yeah.
Moving on to the next question now. How do you feel about competition in RuneScape and how there isn't an equal playing field? For example, everybody has different amounts of free time, so some players have a time advantage over others. This is just one example of how competition doesn't have an equal playing field in RuneScape.
Well, yeah, I stopped like going for the competition after I maxed because everyone is just playing more than me. So I will never like be able to catch up on anyone. So I'm just doing my own goals.
I kind of agree with you, Curry. I feel like you should focus more on personal goals as opposed to overall competition because people with it's just going to be an unfair playing field because people with more free time are going to be able to play more and progress more in the game when I'd say but over 80% of the game is just based on time and the other percent just efficiency. Like people like Cap King have like a ton of free time and not that efficient and are still like up there on the leaderboards.
Cap King's a really good example of someone that has a ton of free time but isn't the most micro efficient and is still really competitive. Like he's like ranked 20 something EHP or something. I mean, I don't personally compete. Like if I compete, it's someone within my own limits because I have like my own real life responsibilities. So obviously I can't compete with someone that has absolutely no responsibilities. So there's obvious limitations with competition. I think Bradford is the person that says like ranks are just based on whoever did it first and whoever has more free time. So
But that's not
I mean that's
completely
something.
true.
Yeah, but to some extent it is though. So I mean, if someone's playing Link's Titan hours or Trance Music hours or whatever, they're probably gonna beat someone that's working a part-time job and going to school full-time. Yeah, it's not, you can't really compare the two. So
But there is an extent to where there isn't an equal playing field for sure because players like Link's Titan there's no one able to compete with him because he takes advantage of his full free time that he has. But there are players out there that don't have any obligations, but they don't spend all the time on RuneScape. So somebody who has extra obligations but spends all their time on RuneScape might still be able to compete with said person. So
yeah,
it's
I
not
guess
completely free time based. It's how much time you put into the game and how efficiently you put that time into the game as well.
you could also make the case that like the only like since Link's Titan is out of so many people, like the only spot that's really up for the grabs, the highest one is like rank 2 overall in EHP and overall ranks. I mean, I guess more people will be competing for that. So this is more realistic and it kind of puts in perspective. But like long-term competition, I guess, how consistent people are and efficient over a long period of time kind of dictates competition for most players.
Yeah,
Because I guess
competition.
most people aren't playing 130-hour weeks for a year.
Yeah, it's really like competition. I feel is more based on consistency rather than free time. Someone like
Yeah.
Link's Titan has also mastered both those arts, or he has the full advantage of both those sides. But there are people who do have obligations that will be able to compete with will be able to compete with players who don't have obligations if they're a lot more consistent than those other players. Like an example would be Randalicious, where he's had many obligations ever since he started playing, but he's able with his consistency he's able to maintain such a high rank in the game, even though other players with more free time haven't been able to because of their lack of consistency.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
also there's also other forms of competition like individual skill ranks, as well as Crystal Math Labs records as well. Those are
Oh
two
yeah,
different
definitely.
kinds of competitions that aren't completely based on free time, like consistent free time. Like for example, Acid Soul was able to get to normal mining because he was the most consistent with it, and he paired with paired with the time that he put into it, he was very consistent with it. He was able to compete with anybody else, but if someone like Link's Titan went from normal mining, he would have trumped Acid Soul, obviously. But Acid Soul had the
Um,
advantage of being consistent over other
Acid Soul
players.
still played. He still played like 12 hours a day though.
Yep, but somebody who plays like 15 hours a day but less consistently would still not be able to beat him.
Yeah, but like if someone decided to play 10 hours a day consistently, then it will just race past me, for example, and I
Yeah.
can't do shit.
And also, individual skill ranks are probably easier to get short term than the long term aspect of overall ranks, since it's less hours overall basically, and
Yeah.
consistency doesn't play as big of a part. And the same goes for records, I guess. Records are a lot more of a short-term competition, which may be more appealing to players who have like obligations but have short break periods here and there, like for example study leave or like summer break. They're able to go for records and potentially like get number one in those records because of a spike in free time.
I'm guessing it's my turn now. Well, of course, it's not fair because RuneScape, like many other games, is primarily a time-based game. It's not only skill-based. Like someone could be garbage at the game, Cap King, but they play a lot and they're actually able to somewhat compete with everyone else. No offense to Cap King if you're watching, you're amazing in my eyes, but in comparison, yeah. But like that's the case. But I guess. I don't think anybody really brought this to attention. Maybe you did, maybe not. Don't remember. But like, not only is like time, like available free time per player, a big factor, but like also some people don't start at the same exact time. People start like years later, or I don't know. But I guess at the same time, Link's Time didn't start like a year and a half after Old School was released. And look at him now. Sorry for the half-assed answer.
I like what you said there about the starting later, because I end up starting almost 2 years after the game was released. Well, I did have a couple hundred well, I think I had about 700, 800 EHP to begin with, but I had a late start compared to all the people that are above me, and I was still able to reach top page EHP with much consistency and a decent amount of hours put in after around a year, I think. I was able to reach top page EHP, which I'm pretty proud of. I mean, it shows that as long as you're consistent and you play a decent amount with the obligations that you do have, you can still gain ranks. Maybe not rank 1 or not top 5 overall, but you'll be able to get somewhere if you just stay consistent. It's just all about seeing those numbers, like those ranks, just climb up over time. They'll always climb if you're staying consistent. You just might not be the best.
Yeah, but if there's like 50 people playing consistent more hours than you, then you can't get past top 50.
Yeah, that's obvious. I mean, that's obviously true.
And if you start late, then they also have like a head start, so you will never ever be able to catch up.
I'll never ever be able to catch up. That'd be a good one.
You'd be able to get top 25 or top 30 EHP if you stayed consistent for at least a couple of years, I think, Harm.
Kappa.
I'm not capping that.
I am.
I told you, Vior, just start playing an Iron Man. You'd be top page in no time.
Iron what?
Iron Man.
Iron who?
Nice joke.
Yeah, with RuneScape, it's pretty much impossible to be the very best number 1 because Link's Titan is basically unbeatable. There's no way you can beat him. But I mean, you can still get a decent rank if you just stay consistent, which may be satisfying enough for some people.
Who's
if that's your thing.
I don't know, man. If they ever patch tick abuse methods, and I'd say Vestful has a lead on links.
Bestie number 1, trusty.
Link still has so much more money though.
Yeah, money 0 time.
Yeah, but West won't be able to make so much.
Oh, Automelogy just said that basically saying that you can play other game modes and go for high ranks on those because it's probably more fair to you with your time constraints and the fact that those game modes were created well after the game was started. The main RuneScape game was started, or old school, I guess. So it's a little bit more fair if you're starting late, if you're competing for Ultimate Iron Man or Iron Man, or maybe even Dead Man.
Iron Man is probably just easier if you have obligations.
Yeah.
Because it's also very anti.
Situation's rank 1 Iron Man, right?
No.
Situ who?
No.
Lola.
I do remember Situation overtook rank 1 for a little bit. And he has work and he goes to school, right?
No.
Okay, well he has work, so that's an obligation. He's still able to get rank
Lala's in
1.
school.
Lador's in school now, yeah.
Yeah, he was in school, I think spring semester of this year as well.
Yep.
I think it's
Well,
fall and spring semester.
Hades is also working, but he's still playing over 10 hours a day, which is quite a lot.
Yeah.
I
Must
would
not
say
be
no
working
matter
too
what
many
you
hours.
do, RuneScape's not fair.
Most games aren't though, so.
Yeah, like unless you started playing right at the beginning, and RuneScape wasn't heavily based off RNG for the most part, and everyone was not allowed to use alts, and everyone was forced to play the same amount of time per day, it wouldn't be fair. So
It'd be more fair, but it still wouldn't be fair.
yeah.
But I remember I saw a comment earlier, if you scroll up, that all video games are pretty much like that. That if you don't have a lot of free time to put into the game, you're not going to be able to be competitive on that game.
Well, you can't be. There's a difference. You can be competitive in different aspects.
Yeah.
Such as, like, how you were competitive in mining. Old school RuneScape's like 3 years old now, and you still managed to achieve rank 2 mining, even though you only started going for it last year. Like, there are some skills that people just don't feel like training because either they don't find interest in it or they just can't last out the grind, but you can still compete to a fair extent. You just can't compete overall, I feel.
Yeah. Well, you could, but
Yeah.
you just won't get rank 1.
Oh yeah,
And
definitely not.
And it's only true in like MMORPGs, which are time-based.
I know there are a few people who have the mindset of if I can't be number 1, then I don't want to play at all. I think that's if you want to play RuneScape long term and you want to get ranks, that's a very bad mentality to have, because everyone's gonna have to face the fact that rank 1's impossible.
You can't get rank 1 in anything anymore.
Yeah. The only thing you get rank 1 in is pretty much records or like individual skills for Ironman and Ultimate Ironman. But moving on to the next question. How do you view the achievement of obtaining pets in RuneScape? Some may view Petscape as an RNG-based achievement, whereas other players still value the long-term dedication that some pet hunters have. And this is a question that I definitely agree that anyone who's hunted pets for a long time, I'm just going to give the example of Casey. Although he has gone some pets where he got really short kill, like where he has a really short kill count on the boss, or a small kill count on the boss. There are other pets like the Corp Beast where it took him like hundreds and hundreds of hours to get eventually. And then I also view like the achievement of all pets that he's collected as one big achievement. Like some like a single pet probably may not be valued as highly as a group of pets, because one pet could have been obtained at 5 kill count. So I don't think that player should be respected for getting a pet at 5 kill count where someone might have put in 1,000 kill count for that pet. And I do think that Petscape should be like, you should view the achievement of the kill count more than the achievement of the pet itself, is basically what I'm trying to say. And that like across a bunch of different pets that you may obtain, you're probably going to get average kill count in the long run for most pets. So that's why I respect Petscape, as long as you're classifying it as a group of pets and not just one pet.
Yeah, you talk too much. You answered for me next.
Sorry. JJ?
Oh yeah, any given pet can have a large degree of variance because it's very short term, but I'd say arguably like collection of all pets has hardly any luck because or very little luck because its variance evens itself out over time. I mean, I guess I don't know what I can't say for sure what pets Casey got really lucky on. I know he got really unlucky at Corp.
Most of his other pets he got decently lucky on from what I've seen.
Yeah, so that might actually be a good case of that. But I would respect long-term achievements with pets more than just any given pet, like AJ said, because there's just so much variance with one pet. You could gotten it on 1KC or 15K, so it doesn't really show anything one single pet.
It really doesn't matter. The Armadillo pet's the only pet that matters in the game. Every other pet is complete garbage.
Well, objectively, you're wrong.
I mean,
Penance
no.
pet's OP.
No, garbage.
Thick pet.
Only pet that matters is the Armadillo pet.
Well, technically, objectively, the best pet is the pet that requires the most hours on average to obtain. And I don't know which pet that is, but it's probably not the Armadillo pet.
The Bloodhound, but it's shit.
Well,
but why is it shit?
Best just
because it's not the Armadillo pet.
Look,
nice. Remember the last time I was on the Solace Podcast, we talked about an item that you could have in real life, and I said the Armadillo pet because I would fly it over to Randy's house, take a shit on his car, and then fucking fly home.
Watch yourself. I'm talking about my boy.
The Armadillo pet is still the best pet in the game.
I disagree.
The Bloodhound pet cannot, like, the Bloodhound pet could go over to someone's house, take a shit on their front yard. But
that doesn't make it a good pet, though.
Yeah, you're right. It doesn't. The Armadillo pet can fly over someone's house and take a shit, like, on their car.
But that's not a good thing. Why is that a good thing? Then they have to clean their car.
Okay, that's their problem. They XP waste. I overtake them on the high
You're
scores.
causing other people mayhem for no reason. That's not a good pet.
Look.
Your Armadillo pet's gonna get shot.
Nah, dude. It has high defense level. And I guarantee
it's weak to range, so it's gonna get shot.
Yeah, but I guarantee half these kids in real life have, like, low ranged.
Well, I don't know. You might stumble across the wrong archer. Next thing you know, it's dead.
Armadillo pet is AIDS. It's the worst pet in the game. It should go fucking fly its way to hell.
Are you just saying that because
He's saying it because Crescendo's a fucking retard.
Wow.
Well, that's 2 challenges completed in the span of 2 seconds.
Dude, I can't even complete that challenge because I can't kick anyone. This is so fucking unfair.
Yeah, you can.
No, I can't.
Oh, actually, no, you can't. You're right. Alright, has everyone said everything they wanted to say, right? You, Corey?
Well, I don't know. The pets on, like, the... like, the PVM pets is kinda like... It's just a PV, like an RNG achievement. It doesn't really mean anything. More than getting a tasset or something. Just more loot. While the skilling pet shows that you have at least done the skill for quite some time.
You can still get.
PVM,
you can
though.
still get.
Yeah.
There's people with like Heron at like 16 fishing or some ridiculous shit like that.
Yeah, but if you have multiple pets, then you have probably skill for a long time.
No, Kinky
You
Toast
could
has
say
all
the
4
same
pets
thing.
and
You
he
could say
only
the
got
exact same thing
99.
about PVM pets. It's very unlikely
Yeah.
that you will actually get a boss pet on 1KC, but I mean, you could use the exact same logic for both cases.
Yeah, I just think that pets are stupid. It's just RNG.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean anything. Just like clues.
But you agree that the Armadillo pet is the best pet, right?
Worst.
I don't even look at pets. It's just stupid.
Yeah,
Pet Cat's the best.
I don't really care about pets. I care about like the time they put into whatever they're like. I care about the time they put into bandos. I care about the time they put into corporal beasts. That's what I look at. I don't really value the pet itself. Although the achievement of collecting all the pets in the game would be a valuable achievement in my opinion.
I think the interesting thing about pets is like you you're more likely to kill that boss more than if the requirement would just to get like just take whatever the pet drop rate is and just apply that to KC. Like, so for example, if getting like these number of bosses is like 5,000 KC and you do them all, and just get 5,000 KC, it's a bit more interesting that like someone goes to like 15k KC at a boss or whatever, just to get the pet. Like they wouldn't have done that otherwise if they had just implemented some kind of flat system where you get a certain amount of KC and you
Yeah,
complete something. It's a bit more interesting that you have to, on some bosses, you have to try really hard on. So for example, Casey going really hard at Quark because it took him forever to get that.
Oh yeah,
It
so I guess
shouldn't
it's
be-
impressive that you kept pushing the kill count and you kept going
Yeah.
forward. Yeah.
The pet should probably just have been like some trophy after like 5k kills or something. Instead of just being another loot.
Yeah, but I feel like with PVM it's essential to have RNG because it provides excitement towards PVM. I guess, and skilling too.
But like most people are PVMing for the dudes, not for the pet.
Yeah, but pet counts. People count pet as sort of like part of the loot.
Yeah, but it's not.
That's their
money.
mentalities.
Pets like give substantiation to like it's completable content for bossing that otherwise wouldn't have existed, and all PVM goals without it would kind of be a bit arbitrary because like there'd be no real substantiated thing for like Chaos LE. I mean, you could go for some random goal on your own, but pets kind of you have like a universal goal, I guess you could say, for bosses.
Yeah.
And if they could make it so you don't actually talk with your pet while having it out, then that would be great. You can't even skill with one.
Yeah, it's annoying because I don't really like skilling with pets because I tend to misclick on them.
Yeah, you just talk with them.
What pets do you have, AJ?
The Mark Golem, that's it. I should have said
okay.
I should have unpluralized pets, my bad, but
Oh, okay.
like I wouldn't ever skill with it out because like I can misclick on. Can you toggle like the clicking on them?
No, and
No.
they should really make that.
Wasn't this question originally if you were gonna go for any pets or something like that, or?
The question was based around how do you value pets.
Oh, okay.
Anyone else have anything to add to that?
Fuck pets.
Free pet is best pet.
All right, moving on. Recently NYJ made a video pointing out, or in this video he pointed out that buyables will continue to increase in cost, and money-making methods for solo players such as nature runes will continue to decrease in GB per hour. How do you feel about this video, and how do you feel about this phenomenon in general?
So personally, I didn't watch the video, but I got filled in on the gist of it. Wow.
You're back.
Rip. Yeah, I didn't watch the video, but I got filled in on the gist of it. I do agree that the game is becoming more towards where you need to play an alt in order to even like afford to do skills efficiently. But I kind of don't really agree with the fact that you're not going to be able to fund your buyables with skills such as rune crafting and hunter, etc. Just because, like, as the game progresses, more and more resources come into the game, and new methods of obtaining these resources come into the game. Like, before Zulrah, the only way to get runite ores was through mining them. But now we have Zulrah for runite ores, we have Corp, we have Blast Mine, Motherlode Mine. There's tons of places to get runite ores. And I just feel more and more content will come into the game to make buyables sustain in price where they're not too expensive, but also make it so, like, I guess gathering skills aren't as useless. So I don't 100% agree with the video.
I do agree that it'll definitely be more difficult in the long run to fund your buyables as a solo player, but it will never be impossible, as he may have suggested in the video. With nature runes decreasing in price, there are other ways of funding your Bibles as a non-alt user, such as slaying with tasks such as Cerberus and demonic gorillas. Although I've been told that demonic gorillas aren't necessary to fund tournament all. There are definitely different ways, such as profiting from Slayer, and also crafting astral runes, which are pretty good money per hour at the moment. I think they're better than nature runes. So that in turn will still help you pay for tournament all. And even if it does, those methods start to decrease and Bibles increase even more, it's never going to be impossible. You may have to do a little bit of extra Zulra or some other very high GP per hour money making method even after you finish Tournament Slayer and rune crafting to pay for the rest of your Bibles. It won't be impossible. It will never be impossible. It'll just take longer. That's your Q viewer.
Oh, sorry, I was typing in the chat. I don't really remember what you guys said, so sorry if I repeat things. So I think that NYJ made a lot of good points. Like, a lot of people discredit his views on the whole situation just because of how he went about it. Of course, 200 mil all as a non-alt scaper will always be viable no matter how you look at it. It's still viable in RS3. It's still viable on RS3, even though like the Bibles are at the current cost. As he showed you the cost of the Bibles. It's possible there. Like, it's obvious. Like, you can PVM for the money, and as time goes on in old school, more methods become viable as PVM options or whatever for alt scapers that are considered efficient these days. Like, you do Cerberus or whatever for 200 mil Slay, don't you make like 20 bill or something like that? I don't know, not 20 bill, but like 4 bill. It's like that with 200 mil RC at Nats. That's plenty. Oh, along with rune crafting. No, not rune crafting. Hunter, smithing. What else can you make?
And agility
with?
and cooking.
Agility, cooking, thieving. If you do it a certain way, get really lucky. Like, you can make bank on all these skills. Like, it's not going to be the end of the world. Like, of course, things are just going to get harder and harder as time goes on, but still.
It becomes more and more.
Sorry?
It becomes more and more unrealistic, but it's never impossible.
No, not unrealistic. It'll become more and more like challenging. Like, it'll just become more challenging. Like, that's to be expected, I guess. I don't know. Like, the economy has to move on. Like, I don't know. Is there any way to like really prevent what happened in RS3? Even like not to the full extent of RS3, obviously. We try to we pray that that's possible to prevent all of that. But like to some extent, isn't like some of the faults of or the mistakes of RS3 are going to be into old school? Like, you can't prevent them all, I guess.
Well, I also want to point out that in RS3 there are many like different XP buffs that actually make these GP per XP values sort of not even accurate, because there are a lot of like XP buffs that people use to basically have like 2.5 to like 2.7 times XP when they're doing like Bibles such as Herblore and Construction. So those GP per XP values are actually sort of inaccurate because most efficient skillers won't be doing those methods at 1 times XP per hour on RS3. That's what I've been told, at least. So the Bibles aren't actually as high as what NOJ is pointing out in his video.
Yeah, there's portables and stuff for a lot of skills. Those save supplies and give you bonus XP.
Also, I think Mini Finbar said that there is a PVM, there's a boss in RS3 that if you master, you can make like 20 mil plus per hour.
Yeah.
Finbar was telling me there's a boss called Telos or Telos, Telos. That if you're like really good at it, you can make up to like 20 mil an hour. It's pretty OP.
Yeah. To piggyback off what you guys have just said, with NYJ's video, he points out RS3 prices and talks about how horrible they are, but the thing is, like, when you're playing RS3, you're not like grinding nature runes at like 1.5 mil an hour and selling them at like 270 or whatever, 260. You're doing things like, if you're a non-alt user, you're doing things like solo QBD, which is like 6 to 8 mil an hour. I think I haven't played RS3 in a long time. I've been in an RS3 community for a while. But also there's like Virago, you do your daily Araxor, you can do things like Telos, which is like you guys said, 20 mil an hour or whatever. Even if you're just doing QBD, like the banked crafting XP per hour at those prices is still like anywhere between like 250 and 300k XP per hour. That's just banked XP, and then when you're producing those items, you're not like limited. Like if you're doing black DIs, you're not limited at like 420k XP per hour. You're doing the you're using it on a portable. You're using some kind of bonus XP type things. So you're probably getting 500k, 600k, whatever, crafting XP per hour or whatever. So I mean, you're banking it much quicker, and you're also utilizing the supplies in a much quicker manner as well. So I mean, it's not really the same thing. So spending 25 GP per XP is not that insane. He also makes an assumption that like short-term trends are going to dictate long-term circumstances, and like he points out how nature runes are just going to keep going down and down and down, but like they have been in the past pretty like cyclical, where they go up for a bit and they go down for a bit, and this could just be a downswing.
They've
So
already gone up a lot.
I think that's a pretty bad assumption that he makes.
Yeah, because nature runes have gone up back to 280 plus again.
They have reached 280. I'm not exactly sure where they're at right now, but they could also go up to like 315 in like 2 months from now. Like, you don't know. I mean, I think he just makes too many assumptions within one video, and then just makes a statement that Buyables are going to be impossible, which I think that's kind of logically flawed. Yeah. Just to piggyback also of what AJ said, you can do Serb and whatnot for Buyables, and it's actually a bit more efficient to do that anyway. So yeah.
I'm not AJ.
You said that?
I said that.
I think AJ did
I
say
said
that,
it
yeah.
too.
Well, it doesn't
I
matter.
said it first.
It's
Well, you fucking
can
cheated.
do it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, Corey?
Well, like the only way to like save the economy is by adding more supply bosses like Sora or something to make the prices steady. But that will also like decrease the gathering skills, so I guess it will always be shit.
No, I definitely do. I definitely think gonna disagree, because I think the shop has a shop, and a shop is correlated, maybe not directly but indirectly, with the Buyables increasing, because players are willing to pay more money because they're making more money with the shop. So I think like the rise in the price for like something like crafting, for example, is also influenced by players doing the shop, and not just the supplies. But I think that like reducing the impact that the shop has on the game, and supply bosses are a good way of reducing Bible prices. But go on, Yukori.
I agree.
Yeah, but like with Altscape, people will just runecraft or something for GP, or kill bosses on their alt and then pay like huge amounts of money for Bibles. So it will like never stop. People will just be like RS3 at some point.
That's if Jagex lets that happen.
Yeah.
The only way to prevent it is by adding OP money making methods that also give XP.
They don't have to give XP if they're high enough GB per hour though, because players will still do them even if they're not efficient.
People will just do it in alt if it doesn't give XP.
If it gives over 3.8 GP per hour, it's more efficient to do than that. And then just use that money you made extra to do office.
Your shit's still loud, bruh. Not getting the fucking challenge.
If they add better money making methods or something, because Buyables are gonna be expensive, then people will just all skip that. Like the whole Altscape thingy has just screwed up the economy completely.
Well, if people are altscaping with like wyverns and green dragons, it doesn't necessarily make it worse for non-alt users. But since people do Karamja stop, and that definitely leads to some form of inflation, Bible prices are kind of fucked. So
yeah, but if they added something like a Rex or something with like 6 mil GP power, then people will like AFK something on main and then Altscape, and that will be more efficient.
Well, yeah, but
because
because
other way is more efficient.
because you're making 6 mil GP per hour, they're going to be willing to spend a lot more money on Buyables because they don't really care what the
Yeah.
price are. I think like making more OP money making methods is the wrong way to go about it. I think that decreasing the GP that per hour that players can actually make, and also combating inflation would in turn bring Buyable prices back down to what they used to be. Because I think it's basically centered around inflation and how much money you can actually make an hour, realistically,
Yeah,
is why Buyables go up.
but there's also way more people doing the Bibles because they can get money from alt. Like half of the people with 99 crafting would have gotten it without an alt at this point.
How does that tie into what you were saying before?
That like people are just alt skipping for GP, so the Bibles will always just spiral out of control.
Yeah, but if you limit the amount of money people can make on alts, then you can't make as much money
Yeah.
in a short span of time.
Like, people will still value the time that they spent making the money on the alts if it's not like 15 mil an hour or whatever at the shop. Like, if they're stuck making 1 mil an hour doing double nats or whatever, or like 700k with wyverns, they're still gonna value their time that they spent making that money. So they'll be a lot less likely to just like do what Avatar Evan did and just like insta buy supplies or Herblore and stuff like that. They'll still try to get everything as cheap as possible. So yeah, what AJ was saying, the solution would definitely be to limit the money you can make per hour on the alt.
But that's
Which
not the only
means-
solution. I think that's the main thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Which means that they can't add any new updates, because any new update will make something better.
No, that's
No,
not true.
an update can nerf something.
Updates can nerf things. Updates can be completely irrelevant, or like could not be even related in any way to money making. Like, I don't know. Don't really need to
LMS.
LMS. Yeah, exactly. They can add money that, or I guess it is a money making method, but like it's also removing money from the game.
Like 600 mil removed from the game per day.
I don't think that Jagex has
Is it
really
really that
tried to
much?
make an update that actually increases GB per hour like intentionally.
They might
I think
do it.
they provided content that ties into other aspects of the game, which is more appealing to basically the majority of players. People don't really want new money making methods because people are already aware of the good money making methods that are already in the game and how they're like relatively the amount of GB per hour you can make basically dictates the economy, like the how quickly the economy progresses, I guess.
I don't agree
Well-
with that though too much. I don't think that like the unintentional introducement your better money making methods. It doesn't just happen. I'm sure they have intents with it.
Well, what's an example of an intentional money making method?
They definitely intended on Zora to be profitable. Maybe not as profitable as it was because they did nerf it a little bit, but they definitely intended on it being profitable, like insanely profitable.
Yeah, and it has no rigs compared to nature runes.
They didn't
Okay,
just
I can
add a
agree with that.
boss and say, you know what, this boss is gonna be fun, man, and then they just added a bunch of loot. Like, oh my gosh, we accidentally made it 2 mil an hour. How dare
And,
we?
And I wouldn't be surprised if rates are gonna be like 3 mil an hour or something.
We'll see.
Just
We'll
to-
see.
Just
I
to
don't think
make
it's-
people go there.
I feel like it would be
Fair.
heavily RNG based with those armors.
Yeah, but like average 3 mil an hour or something. Otherwise, people will just stay at their normal bosses.
Yeah, they'll definitely have some kind of appeal, and that'll be the new armors and stuff. But they don't have to make it the best money-making method in the game just to have the appeal still. There's other ways to do that. Like, don't they want to like? I could be wrong, but aren't raids was to like not bring back, but like be more focused and around or revolve around like group activities, sort of. Like that's the main focus of it. Am I
Yeah.
wrong?
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. Like.
It's not
That's the
creating a
main
new
focus
money
of
making
it.
method, but the money that you get from it is an incentive to do that activity.
They're not going to give no incentive. They're not going to introduce something and be like, yeah, you could do this if you'd like. You're not going to get anything out of it, but, you know, it's there.
Money making methods are typically just a byproduct of new content that Jagex tries to create incentive for. At least that's what it seems. But moving on from that topic. Next question is, in your opinion, which is more impressive, 200 mil runecrafting achieved through soul runes, or 200 mil runecrafting achieved through lava runes?
Lavas.
Guessing you're done, so I guess I'll try to elaborate a little bit more. Personally, I think lavas, just because I've done a lot of souls in the past. I had like over 15 mil XP on Viora souls, and I've done like, I don't know, another 5 mil on this account so far. Like, souls are so easy. You don't even know you're doing them. You can, it may be only 45k an hour or whatever. You still have no idea that you're even training. It's just so relaxing and so easy. But lavas, on the other hand, they may be like a third faster or something like that, 33% faster, but like, same time, I can't do lavas long term. I could not sit there and just do lavas for 16 hours a day and just be okay and like be happy to wake up the next day and do another 16 hours. That is just insane. I have no idea how people would do that. It just, I don't know. I don't know what you're typing in the chat. It confused me, but still. Like, I kind of lost my train of thought, so I'll just leave it at that and I'll contribute later. Someone else can go ahead.
Lavas. Simply
Okay.
said. Like, way more click intensive. You can't, I guess, AFK as much as you can with soul runes, even though you really can't AFK that much with souls anymore. You still get a decent amount of downtime when you're doing soul runes, though. But definitely has to be lava runes, because you don't profit anything with lava runes, whereas you make a small profit with soul runes. Soul runes, like I said, lots of downtime. Lava runes, you don't have downtime. So definitely has to be lavas.
Yeah, lava runes is just insane to do for like that many hours. So intense. So yeah, lava runes.
I definitely would be more personally impressed with myself if I did soul runes, but that's only because I enjoy high APM skills, and force myself to play more hours to achieve terminal runecrafting with soul runes would probably be harder for me. And I think that the general population finds it much easier to get 99 runecrafting via soul runes, seen as the influx of players getting 99 runecrafting ever since the soul rune update definitely backs that up. I think that you can definitely make the same assumption with 200 mil, and that many players would find it much easier long term to do soul runes because of how relaxing it is, as opposed to a method as click intensive as lava runes, where it's high APM for a few thousand hours, as opposed to low APM for 5,000 hours or 4.5 thousand hours.
Give some perspective from the other side of things. I guess one could argue that souls do take twice the amount of time as lavas would take just to get to 200 mil or something like that. Maybe not twice, but
1.5 times,
something like
150%
that.
of the time.
Like they take a long, like it'll take a long ass time. What is it, dude? I don't even know. Like 4,000 hours, 4.5k, maybe 5k, somewhere around there. Let's see,
I think it's 4.5k.
Divided by 45k, boom, 4.444, like, yeah, repeating fours. Okay, that's a long ass time to be spent doing the same exact thing over and over again. It is easy, but it's still, like, I guess it would be kind of challenging in the fact that you're not even doing anything, so you might just get bored and want to do something else.
That's why I find it would be probably harder for me to do it personally.
Yeah, I definitely can see most people doing souls though, so that's why lavas will be kind of more impressive, and the fact that most people can put up with souls and not lavas, I guess.
Yeah. Well, since everyone's given their opinion on that, no one wants to give any more input, I'll move on to the next question. If you were given 10 billion RuneScape GP, would you spend it on Buyables, or would you sell it for real life money?
If I were given 10 bill GP, I mean, that would make the Buyable skills less enjoyable to me. But then if I sold the money for real life money, it would it had negative implications in the game, and I get like banned for RWT. So I don't know. Maybe I do. I'd probably just sell it for real life money then. I don't know.
Oh, that's a good one. Reported, yes. I see you, kid. But, I'm a scumbag. I like donations. If you'd like to donate to me, I'm currently doing Souls in World 77. So, yeah, hell yeah, I'd spend that money on Buyables, dude. If you got 10 mil, or 10 bill rather, my way.
Maybe like 10k IRL GP, so pay off my student loan debt.
Dude,
So
no morals. You know what? What is this? Okay, server group, morals. You can get it back after you explain this to Brad, kid.
it's a would you rather, so I couldn't offer an alternative explanation. You give me two immoral.
Yeah.
You give me two immoral choices, and then saying you're not
There's a
picking a moral
loophole, though.
choice.
There's a loophole, JJ.
There's no loophole.
Yeah,
It's, would
there
you
is,
rather
JJ.
do this?
No. It's very vague. It says, would you rather spend the money on Bibles? You can go ahead and, you could try to find some weird-ass construction method that's like 20k an hour, but it costs 10 bill to get 200 mil, and you could do that, and that'll be pretty respectable to Brad. Brad will probably
I don't
justify
care
taking
about Brad.
donations
I don't care
for
what
that.
Brad thinks.
But you
I
brought up
disagree with like
morals,
half of what
and
Brad
Brad
says.
is the moral. I'm telling. I'm on chatting this right now. This is getting set right to Brad. You're done. You're kicked from the church, dude. See you, kid.
Oh, okay.
I will probably just be selfish and use the money on myself. Like getting 200 mils in the Bibles.
Well, wait. So if you sold the GP, you'd be using it on other people?
What?
If you sold the GP, as in you get real life money for the GP, would you be using it on yourself?
Yeah. But I
So-
wouldn't sell it. I would just use it in game. On the Bibles.
Okay.
Disclaimer: I'm sorry, stream, but this is my last challenge left, and I've saved it to the final ends of the
No.
podcast because I wanted to give you all a warning. So
I barely use any money in real life. So it doesn't really matter.
I mean, I really don't like to bring real life into RuneScape. I mean, I am a leader of a clan. If I sold 10 bill RuneScape GP, I would basically I'd completely ruin the clan's image. Now I still wouldn't have any problems paying for student loans even without the 10k GP or 10k dollars, which would be more for me because I'm Canadian. I still wouldn't have a problem paying student loan even if I didn't do that, and I worry a lot about how much money I'm actually going to make towards Tournament Hall, and I like to really like I said before, I associate the game with the game. I don't associate the game with real life. I don't like to put them together. So I think selling real life GP wouldn't really make me happy at all, and it'd make me feel selfish, and I wouldn't be able to play this game the way I want to play it anymore because I wouldn't be able to run a clan. I wouldn't be able to be in a clan. It would basically ruin the game experience for me, and it only help me pay off student loans when I can already do it. Like long term anyway. So money is not really an issue for me personally. So I would keep the money on RS and spend it on Buyables.
Also,
Alright.
that like I don't even have student loans, so I don't even have to pay off on anything. So fuck real life money.
And like I mean like I make like let's say you make 1 bill GP from the shop. That's still 1k. That's still $1,000. Like if people would still like sell that and make $1,000. That's still a lot of money. Like, but I mean 10 bill I guess is a different story. But I mean I still value 1 bill GP over 1k dollars IRL. I'm not gonna transfer. I'm not gonna transfer because I don't really associate the coins with real life, and plus like I have a fear of getting scammed as well. Like I would like if I sold that 10 bill GP and I actually ended up didn't get my real life money for it. Yeah, I'm not experienced with I'm also not experienced with reward trading websites, so
just hit
That's
up
also
Crescendo
another
for
factor.
You need Crescendo's help.
some help.
yeah, I would
Yeah,
need some outside help for sure.
all reminder, promo code Crescendo OSRS gives you 25% off in all deals.
Dude, that's for friends only, kid. You can't fucking give that to everyone. Oh my god, I'm done.
Yeah, kid.
Anyways, you gotta look at it like, how long is RuneScape even going to be around?
Reported.
Like, that's how I would look at it. Like,
Reported.
dude, you can say reported all the fuck you want, man. I don't give a shit.
And how long will that $1K last in real life?
10K IRL?
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. Like, that's half of a, like, you could pretty much get a new vehicle almost, and that's half the payment on it. Like,
Reported.
for most mortgages, that's like a 15th of the mortgage.
Reported.
Like, you don't even need to spend it. You could put it in a savings account and, like, collect interest on that shit. Like, that's a lot of fucking money.
Yeah, you could invest it. Yeah.
Personally,
Reported.
I don't do shit on my main, so it's like, if someone walked up to me on my main and gave me 10 bill, I feel like the RuneScape community would never know.
Would you not give it to me?
Vivi, you already know I'd give you some, baby.
All of it?
Well, now don't get greedy, dude.
Why not? You don't need it.
You're right. If someone walked up to me and gave me 10 bill RSGP, I'd give it to my E-Date, Bior.
Thank you.
All right, well, moving on to the next question and the final question. In your opinion, do digital cameras devalue memories developed by the human mind?
You actually. Oh my god.
That's
This
such
was
a
supposed to
red
be.
flag,
Now, this question was originally asked by Oi, but since Oi is not on here, should we even answer this question?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
You want? Okay. Let's have this discussion. Okay, so do digital cameras devalue memories developed by the human mind? They absolutely do, because you can keep track of every moment you've had in your life with a camera, whereas people like people back in the caveman times only have vivid mind created imagery, I guess,
Hold
of
on, I'm
the
gonna stop you right there.
event, but they can look at a picture and be instantly reminded of what they may have already forgotten if they didn't have that.
Okay. No. This question was just phrased incorrectly because using your example, it doesn't devalue memories of the human mind. It just devalues cave art, like the art or whatever the cavemen drew or the fucking cave walls, dude. Like they still had ways to like share their memories and stuff. They just drew it. So you're saying this devalues artists then?
Yes, it could also devalue that,
Okay.
but I'm not gonna take back what I said though,
Why not?
because I still agree with what I said.
Gonna fight.
Let's fight.
Oh, you're a hypocrite, by the way.
Nope.
What's it called? My opinion, devalues digital cameras, devalue memories or something like that. Probably not, because like, of course, the camera will just. Actually, you know what? I changed that back. It does. I was gonna originally argue that the memories that you had, they're not gonna like well, I guess they could if you go retarded, but like. They're not gonna like. You're not just gonna forget them. Like you'll still have the memories, but.
Yeah, but you'll have
I
to
guess
have
the
some other
cameras-
form of trigger to remind you of that, because like it's not like you're gonna remember
Yeah,
every
yeah,
single
I mean-
thing that's ever happened. What?
Okay, so you're. Never mind. He already said what I was gonna say. He's retarded, I guess.
What?
I was literally about to get to that, but you're like.
Oh,
you're
okay,
just cutting
sorry.
off and
Sorry.
You're just trying to fight. Like that's
Dude.
Um.
Oh my.
Well, I would say that they actually enhance memories, because if you think about it, if you were to like look through like a history textbook or something along those lines, you'd be giving pictures of events that occurred that you never actually experienced yourself, and you could actually register that in your own memory and then utilize that for future use, I guess. For you needed to, I don't know, like you could just like think about some kind of picture you saw like in a book or something, and then that might enhance your memory. So yeah,
I already see everything in like pictures and stuff, so it would probably be total retard if I didn't have digital cameras to load in the pictures in my head.
But you could
have
also
photographic
argue that
memory.
your memory would be strengthened if you didn't always rely on pictures.
But do you actually fall back to a picture to actually remember
Yeah, I
something?
don't really rely on pictures
Yeah,
for anything. Maybe
No,
like
no,
if I
but you
wanna
could
look back in
you
the
could look
past
back
and-
through like a photo like let's say you have like a photo book or something like that, or just like pictures that you've taken a long time ago. Then you'll look through those and be like, oh yeah, I remember that now. And then you'll be like, oh yeah, I remember when I did that, and so on. But like yeah, that's because it's a trigger. Like you're looking at those pictures and it's triggering a memory. You wouldn't have had that trigger if you didn't have those pictures there.
Yeah,
Possibly.
but the human brain stores important memories that you'll pretty much never forget. And pictures, they don't capture like the emotion of the moment. Like, you know, when you're at the beach and you take a picture with a bunch of friends and like the one friend that you're standing next to, she's really hot and like your fucking swim trunks are like sticking to your body and you're just wondering like, dude, can they see my dick in this picture? Like basically that, you know. I mean, never happened, but
So you're not talking from personal experience, then?
no,
I don't believe it.
dude.
Crescendo.
Do you know me?
Yeah.
I don't fucking go outside.
I swear, earlier today you're like, you know what, boys?
I was about
After
to
the
say
shower,
that I
I'm going to
can't
go
relate.
outside.
Look, I went outside for like 20 minutes earlier today. The
And
sun hurt my eyes. The air smelled like fucking
Sunlight
freshly cut
hurts my
grass.
eyes.
And I came back inside and played Rooney.
well,